to a very spooky episode.
Who is this?
Yeah,
It's me,
Mario?
what's happening here?
I remember Halloween.
Oh, Halloween. That's today, or that's tomorrow. That's today. When does this show come out? What day of the
Comes
week
out
right
on
now?
Fridays.
It comes out on Friday. That was yesterday. Halloween was yesterday.
How was it?
Otherwise known as today, tomorrow.
Thursday.
How was your? My Halloween was great. Brand was
spent it
fun.
together.
Your costume brand,
Yep.
excellent.
Thank
What
you.
about my
Your-
costume?
And we have another Shindig Tomorrow brand
Yep.
where we're just kids are jumping on a bounce house.
Yep.
I was planning on being out of town for that one. Strategically, it's tough.
Tough break for you.
Tough out there. Yeah.
I mean, your family doesn't need to know that event was canceled. You
Oh, yeah, they do.
They know.
They know. Yeah.
Well, welcome everybody. We're talking Scream Team today. The Scream Team, a title of a movie where they definitely say the words Scream Team.
Oh, for
in the movie.
numerous times.
so many times.
Don't worry.
Soul Patrol. Soul Patrol.
The only time, like, it's mentioned in the song.
Yes.
Yes, they do mention it in the
Well,
song.
I think they done goofed. They realized
we wrote a song called Scream Team, and we called it the Soul Patrol, and that's a
there
mess.
was definitely a the wires were crossed. There,
Yeah.
I think.
You know what
The
wires weren't cross brand?
What's that?
The folks giving us the 5-star reviews.
Oh, really?
I don't know if that worked or not, but that's what I'm saying.
You know what? I think if you really break it down, it
Yeah.
didn't, but it was good enough to where no
how
one's
about
going to.
Doctor? This is just capital D,
Yes.
capital D, lowercase r, and then ellipses.
Aaron's listening.
Doctor. Delightful, charming, hilarious, and ridiculous is the title of it. Without question, this is an absolute gem of a podcast with 3 of the most delightful, charming, hilarious, and absolutely ridiculous in all the best ways hosts. That said, cautionary note to my fellow Gen Xers. Should you listen to this podcast? Absolutely. There's not a bad day that cannot be made better by Brand's always ill-fated attempts to get through a synopsis unscathed by vocabulary or side conversating, taunting co-hosts. Should you ever watch any of the actual movies reviewed in this podcast? Absolutely not. No matter how many times Brand calls Brink the best movie ever, don't be fooled. You will finish and immediately wish you had rolled around in thumbtacks and taken a bath in lemon juice instead, or worse, watch Space Jam starring the Looney Tunes. But this podcast is as great as the DCOMs are bad. Will it be even better when Dan realizes the only appropriate responses to the Delish segment are, "Thanks for making this, Aaron," or better yet, "Thanks for making this, Aaron. It's delicious." Sure, but in the meantime, this podcast is still a surefire balm to whatever emotionally ails you. Give it a listen. What a review. What a review. And
I think my favorite part of this podcast are the reviews.
The reviews are great.
Like, I want to meet these people. Like, we'd be friends.
Yeah, ratings and reviews are important, especially if you want us to continue the pod. You got to get to 300. It's not looking great. We have 139, and that's okay. And I'll say this about the Delish segment. First of all, there have been times when Aaron has made some really great stuff. And if I said everything was delicious,
then it doesn't count.
If you highlight the whole page, nothing's highlighted. Aaron, I think most of us, I know I would rather have a sincere compliment than an automatic compliment.
Well, I can usually tell when you're lying, so you could lie on air.
I don't lie.
But like if you had said,
I'm
like,
trying
"Oh,
to be
it's
nice."
delicious."
Yes.
You can't give a compliment without lying.
I-
You can say
I
thank
would
you.
know.
That's true, yes.
You can say thank you.
Thank you, yes. But that's different than saying something is of a
But
certain
that's
quality.
but
She
the
said,
review said
the review said, "Thank you, it's delicious."
okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. I say thank you sometimes.
Thank you. Well, you definitely made something today, Aaron, for the Delish segment. I'm looking at it and I'm saying that is homemade. Let's
sure.
get to the Delish. It's scary. It's spooky. It's Scream Team.
Yeah,
What
it is.
type of scary concoction have you whipped up today, Aaron?
Today I have whipped up a pumpkin streusel muffin.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
listening.
Yes, please.
There's a lot of pumpkins in this movie. I thought there'd be some maybe. I mean, we were playing a fun game while watching this.
Yeah, Christmas movie magic. The card
And
game.
I do want to
Yeah.
say, Christmas Movie Magic out now. You can buy it on
Yes.
Amazon, all that good stuff.
Definitely
and
close enough for people to see it.
here it is.
Bam.
And
Yeah.
it is out now, and you can play it while watching
Yeah.
DCOMs.
I mean, I just went through, and there's like a couple that are very specifically Christmas. I took those cards out.
You know what you could do is make them double or triple the points in case somebody wants to try it. And that way, if there happens to be a Christmas present or something
never know.
in the...
Oh.
You never know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this game, it's made for watching Christmas movies, but we very easily adapted it to the Scream team. And we had a great time playing it. We had several cards for like treats, and I thought, there's a carnival involved. Like there's for sure going to be pastries or something I can pull from. And not really. So we're just, the movie opens up with them carving a pumpkin. There's a lot of pumpkins. Pumpkin streusel.
Let's give it more.
Did you make this at home?
Uh-huh. Did not buy this at a store.
Seems like a lie. Let's eat.
Man, I can't believe I lived like a good chunk of my life thinking that pumpkin things would be gross.
Right?
Pumpkin might be my genesis for beginning to try new things.
I mean, you've had to try new things since you were born. I want to be clear.
You know what I'm talking about.
You came close
You know
to
how
trying
I don't
eggnog?
like trying new things, but I've started giving things a shot a little bit more easier? Pumpkin might be what happened.
This was really good.
What were you going to say, Aaron?
I was saying you tried the I can't think of what I made last week.
Oh my God.
But it was close to eggnog.
Yeah, it was.
Coquito.
Coquito.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that was new for you. You don't normally like things of that texture,
I
but
know.
you tried it
I
and
know.
you liked it.
I know. I'm a new boy.
We're proud of you.
You're really doing it.
Thank you. Well, that was very wonderful. You can make this. What was the whole breakdown there? You add pumpkin and
Publix.
bread, and then
Yeah. I mean, if you want to save yourself some time,
if you
you could just
didn't.
go to the store and get a pumpkin muffin. They're everywhere right now.
Right.
But when the season's over, you can make them at home, and I will post that recipe on the socials. At
I
some
love
point.
it.
There you go. Hey, let's take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about the Scream team, everybody. It's happening here on DCOM Descendants.
Happy late Halloween, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to DCOM Descendants. Brandon, Sarah, and it's Dan. We're talking Scream team today.
Oh, you're Dan.
Yeah, I know.
Huh.
A lot of people mix that up.
Yeah.
Mix that up.
Sometimes they say you're Dan. I'm Aaron.
I know.
Yeah.
It hurts my
I'm
feelings,
Allie.
but I don't say
It's
anything.
fine.
Right. I'm Allie.
I'm Allie.
Let's talk Scream team, shall we? Our 41st movie, is that correct?
This is the com chat. I just want to make sure I have
this
that.
is com.
DCOM?
Yes, this is com chat.
Is
So we
C
chat
and
about the
DCOM.
com.
Yes.
Can't spell decom without comchat.
No, there's no way.
Let's get to it. October 4th, 2002 is when this movie premiered on the network. It was directed by Stuart Gillard, and I really want to know what else Stuart has done.
I can help you there.
Because he had quite the specific vision for
Yes,
this
he did.
movie, I think. Starring Mark Rendall, Kat Dennings, Robert Booksteel, Eric Idle, Tommy Davidson, Kathy Najimy.
Jimmy.
Yeah, I
that's
got it right.
It's a loaded cast.
Loaded cast. It's huge. It's massive. It's big. Let's dive in, shall we?
I would love to, Brand.
We get a fun. You mentioned the song, Aaron.
Yeah.
We do start off with an original song,
It's
which
a fun song.
Which I wish that this was a trend that continued. We had Get a Clue, an
Yep.
original song for the movie. We've got the Scream team.
Was it?
I would assume so. I don't know why I assume that though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can you look that up? Can you look at whether or
Yeah.
not Get a Clue was created by the movie? By
Well, it was
the
created by Simon and Milo.
Stuart
Right, before the
Gilliard,
movie.
a veteran TV director.
Okay.
I mean, just like everything, TV. One Tree Hill, Ringer, Avalon High, Emily Owens, MD, 90210, Beauty and the Beast,
There
No
you go.
Tomorrow, Rain, on and on. Jane the Virgin, on and on and on.
There you go.
There you go.
So we cut into this house and we see ghosts are whizzing around a house. They're like little light things. And we see that there's an old guy in a seat just sitting there. He's sitting there because he's dead. He's kicked the old bucket. Cut to two children, Ian and Claire. They are working on a pumpkin
Yep.
carving machine with
yep,
their
yep.
grandfather. It's big fun. They're having a blast. What if people didn't actually have to carve pumpkins? Wouldn't that be something? And so turns out though that this video that we're seeing is actually just a home video. It's being watched by Ian and Claire at Grandpa's memorial. Dad doesn't like them watching these videos. Memorial's not for remembering.
How dare you try to remember your grandfather?
Memorials are for mingling with randos.
Get up and talk to people.
That's right.
Now.
Go have meaningless conversations with your grandfather's friends.
That's right.
Don't process any of this. Just put it down somewhere where you can't find it in the recesses of your mind.
Would it be a beautiful memorial to watch a video of your grandfather doing what he loved and enjoying life? No.
No. You don't want to process this guilt right now.
Don't you dare do it.
Put it away.
Get it out. And so
10 out of 10, Dad.
Yeah. He's great. He's great. I literally did find a Letterboxd review though that was like, it's so great to see a DCOM dad that doesn't suck. Well, and I can't tell if they were
that's got to be a joke, but I also was going to say not the worst DCOM dad.
No. He
So
turns
far.
it around eventually.
For half of the movie,
he's terrible, but he's not the worst.
Yes. And
that
so,
bar is low.
Yeah, that's true. So Ian doesn't want to mingle with randos though. Instead, he goes down to the basement. I don't want to mingle with randos on a good day, much less a bad day. He goes
golf course.
It's better than a good day
randos,
mingling with randos. And so he goes down to his grandpa's basement where he stores all of his random inventions that he's worked on over the years. And some weird things begin to happen. He thinks that he hears someone calling his name. He hears some movement, and turns out it's just Dad being a little dinker, coming downstairs and being like, "Hey, it's me. No one cares about you, Dad. We thought it was a ghost. Maybe it was a ghost."
Both and.
The next day, Dad tells them the legend of Zachariah Cole, who is accused of burning down the house with his wife in it. And Zachariah, I think it's fair to say he freaking loved fire.
But did he start the fire?
That's the big question.
We didn't.
No.
Yeah. We would never.
No. It was always burning. We would not start it. We didn't start it.
It's
confirm.
The best I can understand, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Dan, but it's actually been burning since the world was turning.
Man, you said it, friend.
So I don't know how we can't get in trouble for this. So just as
we didn't like it. I mean, if anything, we tried to fight it.
Yes, actively. And they also
we were all there. I can account for all of us.
Yeah.
We were out there fighting that fire like a mother.
Aaron did leave for a minute.
Oh, yeah, I didn't want to say that out loud. Can't believe you threw her under the bus like that. She could have started the fire.
Aaron could have. It's unlikely. It's not within her character.
I would say it's more likely that I started the fire than that I tried to poison you. So
that's fair. And for those that just listen to this show, that's a really specific.
That is very
or is it?
Or is it? Happy Halloween. So as Dad is telling the story, they have a fire going in the house, and the doors fly open, which causes wind to blow into the house, which causes fire to fly out of the fireplace and onto this flyer that is a drawing of Zachariah, and it catches fire. Zachariah's at it again, y'all. He's trying to burn down houses.
Well, everything on the flyer, it's for a festival.
Yep.
For,
the Zachariah Fire Fest. Not that Fire Fest.
Oh, different Fire Fest.
Fire with an I.
With an I, the way it's spelled.
But everything on the flyer burns except for the picture of Zachariah.
That's right. And it's a really scary drawing of him, by the way.
Yeah, it's like if you took a human, like I don't know, it kind of reminded me of like Slender Man.
A little bit like Slender Man.
It was trying to be like spooky.
Shout out Slender Man.
One of the worst movies I've ever seen in the theater.
Sure.
Never saw it.
Terrible.
I just worked in an elementary school, and
so you knew all about it.
Slender Man's real.
I mean, how do you not?
How do you not? Yeah,
he's real.
Momo, Slender Man and Momo can't get around.
They're both real to me. They're both real to me. So shout out to
which one's scarier, Momo or Slender Man? Momo's scarier because of yes, yeah.
But shout out to my kids' grandma, who they call Momo.
Yeah, that's tough.
Not that Momo.
Looks like the critics are with me on Slender Man. Holy moly!
Yeah, I really wanted to see it because the reviews were so good.
Panda and I
got to it. Yeah,
it was a fun time.
And so the fire gets stamped out. They're stamping out the ghost, and Ian goes to sleep in his grandfather's room, which is such a crazy. I understand he didn't die in the room, but even if you're not a believer in ghosts or spirits or whatever,
Even if you ain't afraid of no ghosts.
you gotta give that room time to breathe, right?
Yeah, respect the ghost. Respect the fact that it could. I don't believe ghosts exist.
No.
I wouldn't do that just in case I'm wrong.
Just in case. It's a
Even though
just in case situation.
I am 100% like, I don't think, like, I'm firmly believe it. But you know what? I'm not going to tempt it.
You've been wrong about a lot of things.
We all have.
Well, some more than others. Would you sleep in your grandfather's bed after he died? Like the day after?
The night?
No.
Okay, yeah.
What's the proper time to let that room breathe? Probably a year.
I think you got to go in there and get all the stuff out.
I mean, the bed frame that I have now is from my grandparents.
That's different.
That's different.
But
different.
I did not get that until well after.
Well, now we're getting very dark, but I can't not ask this question because it's just been here ever since you brought it up. Brian, you and Caitlin live a long time. And
I hope so.
All of a sudden, somehow, against all odds, she goes before you.
Again, not possible.
And
but
you're both 80.
Yeah.
That's different, right?
That's different because I think you
it's
kind of
still your bed.
Yes, it is still your bed, and you also kind of want that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Different.
Like, what if I get
I think
to...
that's different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that is, like, in essence, still sleeping in the bed. But
Yeah, it's your bed.
what he's
You
doing
are
is
one.
tempting fate. That's all we're saying.
Yes.
Yes, 100%. And the fate does get tempted, and the tempted become... Stuff happens, is
The
what I'm
fate
trying
gets
to
tempted
say.
and the tempted becomes
Fate.
fate.
He has a tough night. There's lots of spooky
And that
things.
was Scream Team.
We did it.
Spooky stuff begins to happen. They're shaking up the bed. He runs downstairs. He tells his dad does not believe him. He's still bad dad at this point in time. And
Turns out
just,
his sister.
yeah, there's just a lot of stuff going on, though. It's very spooky. The next day, though, they go out into the town, and there's this one guy asking the kids about some library books that Grandpa had her, and the kids are like, "What's your deal, guy? What's your deal?" That night, back at Grandpa's, Ian is able to capture a ghost in a jar. And you can have your own ghost in a jar for one payment of $19.97. It's going to get shipped right to your
One
house.
payment. That's just $419.97, right?
That's cheap.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just
It's
heard
my
it's
ghost
two
in a
payments.
jar.
It's two payments.
2 payments.
Nope, it just went up to 3.
Wow.
I
Is there any way to
know.
get rid of one of those? Like with a code?
Harbor.
What?
The code is Harbor.
Harbor is the code?
The code is Harbor.
Great.
Why?
Well, I was thinking about
Harboring
that word.
ghosts?
Like harboring.
Harbinger.
Yes, I was thinking about that word, and all I got out was
So
harbor.
at least you're not having a stroke because the way it was going there. Harbinger.
Well, the
Harbinger.
important thing that you need to know is that two things can be true at once, and so they harboring the ghosts. Am I
Brands-
using it right?
Brand's reading.
That one's for you, doctor.
Is a harbinger of things to come. Yeah.
So-
Harbinger.
So they capture a ghost in a jar. Claire is like, what's going on here? What is up with this? And then suddenly Coffin Ed, who is a revolutionary soldier, shows up to get the ghost back. It's a ghost named Jumper. Wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend. You could cut ties with all the lies you've been living in. And if you do not want to see me again, I would understand. I would understand. Jumper. They
Also a terrible movie with Hayden Christensen. The song way better. The movie.
Song's great. So
It's up there with Slender Man.
wow, really?
No.
So
It
they
was a lie.
they follow Ed and other ghostly lights into this forest, which leads them to this building in the forest. And when you go inside that, you see some ghosts entering through a mirror, which leads to the afterlife. So this building is what's known as North American Zone 6 Revival Center.
Obviously.
Duh.
And so basically these, like Coffin Ed and Jumper, they work at this center and they help ghosts. They help find ghosts that don't want to cross over. And they are I'm sorry, not the Scream Team. The Soul Patrol.
Soul Patrol.
Could have been the Scream Team. They're not. They're the Soul Patrol. And there's nothing. Listen, there's nothing that we can do there. Our hands are tied. So they find out that Grandpa is one of these souls that doesn't want to cross over for some reason. So Ian and Claire agree to help. It might be helpful if we can, maybe talk to Grandpa. Maybe we can convince him. And so the next day they call Grandpa by his name, and he shows up. But while he shows up, we then see Zachariah show up behind them. And he and again, the details here, how important are they? But he pulls Grandpa into a fireball.
Yes.
And, do with that what you will.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. So then he throws a fireball at the kids. That causes
sonic boom.
That causes the curtains to catch on fire, which causes a fire alarm to go off, a little bell.
That's right.
Would have been nice if it happened again for
Christmas
for
movie
Aaron, but there's nothing we can do. So they go to talk to the Soul Patrol, and Ed and Jumper agree to try to help capture Zachariah. If we can capture Zachariah, maybe we can get this figured out.
Save the Zachariah, save the Grandpa.
That's exactly right.
Save all the souls.
Save all the souls. Zachariah's a real B, though. He's always just doing bad stuff and getting stronger and whatnot. They find him at this abandoned mine, and they try sucking him up with a ghost vacuum, Ghostbuster style.
He's too strong.
It works for a second, but he's fired. But
there's nothing he could do.
No.
And we're about to lose Kat Dennings.
We are, because Claire gets thrown into a well.
Who's that? What's that? What's that, boy? Kat Dennings is in a well? Do we need to save her? Do we have a rope? Okay. Are you there? Then why are you telling me I'm not there? All right. Go save her.
This rescue plot is not working.
Good boy.
So they are able to save Claire.
But Jumper's, it's a switch.
What's that?
Jumper's
It's a switch.
Yeah.
It's a switch.
Dennings saved, Jumper raved.
Yes.
Jumper waved bye-bye. He's now in the well.
That's exactly right. And so that's unfortunate. I'm sure they're going to work really hard to get him out.
Jumper causes a distraction.
Yes.
So that Zachariah isn't trying to keep Claire in the well
That's
of
right.
souls.
Gives him time to get out. And then he gets Jumper.
Yep.
Right. And
the angry boy, a bit too insane.
Yeah. Icing over the streets with pain.
You know you don't belong.
Oh, man, that's great. It's good stuff.
Song's like 30 years old.
Is it older than this movie, though?
No, it came out probably 98. It's probably 26 years old.
So it is older than this movie.
It is older than this movie. My bad.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
It's not older. It's
just older.
I thought this movie was. I'm sorry.
It's older in the sense that it is
older. Yes.
So when Dad,
it's not older. It just came out before this movie.
Yes.
Yeah. So do with that what you will. So Dad finds out that they're causing more trouble. They even there's a little bit of a fire.
And he's like, degenerate assholes.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this?
Well, there was a fire in the house that Zachariah sent to the kids, obviously get blamed for.
Yeah.
There's a fire at the mine, so obviously they set that too.
And the police
arrest them.
And so he's like, you know what? We're gonna go back to Boston tomorrow. We're going back to Boston. Whoa. And
we're shipping up to Boston.
Yes.
Even.
And so they tell him the truth. They lay it all out there, and he doesn't really believe them. But there is a fire outside that spells out the words "stay away." So the next day, Dad is like, I don't really believe in this ghost stuff, but no one's going to mess with my family. And so we're staying here until I get it figured out. All right, superhero Dad, relax over there. There's a festival that I guess mocks Zachariah. It's like, there was a guy that did fire. That's hilarious. And so they have a fire festival. Again, different fire
Different
fest.
fire, not that fire fest.
And
yeah, I am confused about the whole festival. They paint Zachariah as this bad guy who burned down the town. And so I thought maybe they were doing a spooky festival.
It is weird to
But then the festival is just a carnival.
Yeah.
Yes,
but there is a festival after a terrible human being.
Yeah, I think the one tip of the hat is the bonfire that they have, and then there's like a little fire.
I mean, the whole movie
ride.
as they're like leading up to it, I thought it was going to be not like a fun carnival, but like almost like a haunted house type attraction, like a spooky attraction that you bring people
to. Standard fall fest.
And it's just your standard like fall carnival. And I don't understand the marketing there, and that's maybe why it's not a bigger deal.
So Claire and Ian have figured out that this one guy that I forgot to write down his name, Marshall or something like that. Wendell. No,
Colin Mockery.
Wendell.
Colin Mockery.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wendell. The guy that was asking about the library books, they're like, hey, those are probably important. They break into his house. They find these books underneath his bed. They take them back, and it's basically the full real history of Zachariah.
They were books that their grandfather had.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they returned.
Yes.
And
Wendell
so
took because Wendell wants Zachariah to be this villain.
Right.
And so these books hold the real truth about Zachariah, which is basically that he just like was an inventor that discovered that natural gas can cause fire and whatnot. And it got away from him. It got away from him.
Which happens.
Yes. But he didn't purposely burn down his house. He actually loved his wife a lot. And
he was just experimenting with natural gas, and it went awry.
And that is why whenever you're experimenting with natural gas, you
maybe don't do it in your house.
Yes.
Don't do it. Don't
but
do
he wouldn't have known that.
That's
you
true.
know,
That's true.
I mean, like he's doing the best he can. Just
He
on
is.
that. Never thought if he should. He was just wondering if he could. You know,
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
it's like Jurassic Park.
That's right.
They didn't know the dinosaurs were going to kill him.
How would you know?
They're
You
just,
can't.
I wonder if we could.
You can't.
They're
know.
not stopping
you
to
know?
think. Should we make a T-Rex?
Yes.
It's like, could we? Could we? Let's do that first.
Yes.
That gets you in trouble.
So
Maybe.
What?
Said maybe.
maybe. So they run to the festival,
Pretty good
and
amount of data that says that it does.
when they get there, Zachariah has now taken over the bonfire, and he's like looming over everybody, like
throwing fireballs
throwing
again.
fireballs
Yeah,
left
he
and
is.
right. And it's at this point that they are like, "Hey, we know the truth. Here's a newspaper article. Here's your wife. Remember her? She's waiting on you." And he's like, "What? My wife? What?
All right, Borat.
This
My wife.
My wife? Get me out of here."
That's
And
not anywhere close to Borat.
It's not bad.
Are you a magician?
Yes,
Trying to work-
abracadabra. Borat disappeared. Now you're left with me.
Do you remember when Paul Green kept saying my wife like it was the funniest thing in the world?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, man.
It was funny.
Oh, so funny.
He was blowing his harmonica. It was funny. And so he realizes that he has been goofing. He's been goofing for too long,
Yeah.
and it's time for him to be reunited with his wife. So he flies into the mirror, and they kiss, which you could have played that. Guys, for those of you playing at home,
Christmas movie magic once again.
don't
Yeah.
throw
Dan
out
took
the
that
kiss
card.
card.
Dan
Hold
took
on
that
to it.
card.
Hold on to it, is all we're saying.
Yeah, so they cross over finally.
Yes. And releases all of the spirits that he has trapped and all that stuff. So,
And grandfather crosses over immediately?
no.
Oh.
No, they actually get back to their house, and grandfather is sitting there. And he's like, "Great work, everybody. Also, son, I want you to know that all these years of me ignoring you, I just thought that you are better than me, basically. Like, you could do so much better than hanging out with your old man. So that's why I never let
Well,
you."
the kids thank him for helping them solve the Zachariah mystery because they're like, yeah, you knocked those library books off the shelf, and that's how we found out that Zachariah wasn't a bad guy. And Grandpa's just like, I didn't do that on purpose. I wanted your dad to find the box of photos behind the books. So, like, I guess cool for you, but son, I am proud of you.
I am
Is
proud.
Interstellar still from this movie?
It's I think they
That's true
did.
a little bit.
Disney stealing from Disney.
Always.
I don't think Interstellar has
Who
anything
can
to do
say,
with Disney. It's
really?
Warner Brothers, but that's fine.
Yes, but what you don't know is Warner was originally a Disney.
Fred Warner, that's
Fred
right.
Warner from the Disney. He left the family business, and now he's a Warner bro.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
But like adopted into
Yeah,
the family.
of course.
Yeah, just
It's
like
actually
Danny.
a really beautiful story.
That's right.
It should be made into a movie.
Maybe a future DCOM.
Who would distribute it though?
Universal.
Oh man. So they're like, "You need to get out of here, Grandpa," and he's like, "Eternity can wait. I'm gonna talk to my son now. Let's go play
just
catch."
have a couple of hours.
Yeah,
to
stuff
chat.
like that. And so the next day, Ian and Claire, they go back and they visit the Soul Patrol, and they find out, Jumper and Ed and them, they're still hanging out, which is nice. It's nice. It's nice. And then Dad, they go back to their house and they're working on the pumpkin invention again. And Dad comes over and he's like, I can help you. And he makes the whole thing work. Yeah. And they're Guts.
They're going to stay in town. They're not going back to Boston.
Nah. That's right. And Pumpkin Guts go everywhere, but not on Ed because nothing can hit him. He's a ghost.
Scream Team.
That's Soul it, everybody. Patrol. That's it.
Soul
Did
Patrol.
we do it?
We did it.
How about we do this? Let's take a break. We'll come back. We will talk about our thoughts on it. We'll rank it. We'll do all that good stuff here on DCOM Descendants.
Scary. I don't like that.
Wrong music. Welcome back.
It is.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to DCOM Descendants.
Brent, I'm a little lost. Can you help me? DCOM. D is delish.
Yep.
And C is comchat.
That's right.
What's the O stand for?
Opinions. No, I'm sorry. Overtime.
There it is.
In which we share our opinions.
Yes, but it's different.
How they changed over time, in which case we...
Opinions.
Yes.
I do have some reviews of this movie on Letterboxd if you'd like them.
I would love them.
Okay, guys, don't all jump on it at once.
We should call the show the DCOM Descendants. Did Delish, Comchat, Letterboxd reviews, overtime making the list. The DCOM
these
Descendants.
reviews are just other people's opinions.
Yes, DCOM.
The DCOM Descendants.
It's more like DCOM.
That's
DCOM?
Yeah.
No, there's no L. It's just
Letterboxd reviews.
No, it's their opinions.
Yeah, but I like Letterboxd reviews. DCOM.
I like DCOM.
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 Pudge opinions overtime making the list. DCOM.
Pudge says 3 stars. Kat Dennings and a DCOM is automatically a masterpiece in my books, and that's all that matters. All right, Pudge, relax. Adolfo says 2 stars. Imagine you die and you still need to wait in line to fill out paperwork. That's terrifying.
That is.
Cody B13 says 2.5 stars. They never call themselves the Scream Team.
Not once.
Soul Patrol 12 times.
Boss Baby Fan.
Ooh. Shout out.
Says 2 stars. Nothing better than after going on my ghost adventure, I get to wear my Dead People Rock shirt. If anybody knows where I can get that shirt, please hook a brother up. Hunter McCann says, hook a brother up, says 1.5 stars. For one beautiful moment, I thought Joaquin Phoenix was in this. I don't know why, but shout out to Hunter. That's a tough day. And then Riz says 0.5 star. They don't make them like this anymore. Thank God. Let's share our thoughts on this movie. I will start with you, Aaron. Aaron, you vaguely remembered this movie when we started it, but now that you've seen it, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah. I'm a little sad this is a movie that I haven't seen since 2002. Compared to some of the other Halloween ones, like this is kind of what I'm looking for in a Halloween DCOM. Like there's a silly aspect, a little bit of hijinks, but there is like a spooky story here. I think it nails the spooky storyline a bit better than Phantom at the Megaplex does.
Oh boy.
I'm not saying it's a better movie than Phantom of the Megaplex. No, I'm just saying, like the villain is actually scary. Like this is a movie that if I was watching, like this is kind of what I want. I want to be
a spooky movie than Phantom of the Megaplex.
Yes, it's better. It does the spooky better. If I was watching this lights off on Halloween, like this is what I want. I want to be scared, but not too scared, and that's what this movie is perfect for. I thought it was great. A good cast of characters. The dad has a little bit of a redemption arc, which is always good to see in a DCOM father. Yeah, I had a good time here. We'll watch this movie again for sure.
We'll watch again.
This movie kind of slaps. It's a sneaky slapper. I got to be honest with you. Great cast. A movie that clearly has a very interesting direction behind it. Like there's lots of camera stuff that we just don't see in these movies, which most of them I thought were really cool. Some unnecessary, but most cool. Some, CGI that wasn't awful
for the time.
For the time, for sure.
I mean, they were really like, it is 2002 and we're using every special effect.
How much did this movie cost? Like they were doing a lot of CGI. They were doing a lot of shots.
The amount of money they spent on fire effects alone.
Yeah.
Ton of fire effects.
So the movie overall worked for me, surprisingly. And it also hit me at the right time, you know, with Halloween right here. It was the perfect time to watch this movie, which was nice that it worked out this way. We didn't actually plan the entire launch of the podcast to, you know, line up with Scream Team.
Seasonal stuff, but it's just worked out that way.
It just worked out that way. So good for us and good for the movie. A sneaky surprise for Bran. Dan?
Yeah, I'm with these two. This movie's really a lot of fun. I mean, I don't know. The cast is great. Eric Idle, Tommy Davidson, Kathy Najimy, Kat Dennings. The cast is amazing. The scares are fun. They're fun scares. It's a fun plot. It goes by really quickly. I laughed. I was intrigued by what the plot was, even though you kind of knew what was going to happen. You get a redemption arc for the dad, a redemption arc for the villain. I don't know what's not to like here. The camera work, the directorial choices are not bland. They're interesting. The effects are fun. This is like, if you were 10, 11, 12, this would have been perfect. I just, there's a lot to really like here. Underrated gem here, I feel like we found, Bran, and the rankings are interesting here. I'll say that much.
It's going to be interesting.
It is going to be interesting. And an interesting thing about this director who we talked about is this isn't going to be his last DCOM, and it seems like he got kind of typecasted with his directing because he does Twitches 2, Girl versus Monster. He does some other stuff like Full Court Miracle and whatnot. So he does
he's done a lot
plenty of DCOMs.
Going to the mat is also.
Going to the
mat's a DCOM.
I love going to the mat. Or I remember liking it. I don't know for sure. So good for him and good for us because I actually this movie at least stood out visually.
Yes,
which was nice. Let's make our list. Let's see where this movie's going to land. Is it going to land in any of our top 10s and have our top 10s changed? That is what we're going to find out right now. Aaron, where do you have this one?
This one is going to premiere in my top 10. I'm not 100% sure if this is where it's going to be forever. You can probably tell on this podcast, I'm not feeling my best today. My head is a little fuzzy.
But you're giving it your best.
I'm giving it my best.
That's all that matters.
And if I've learned anything from Gotta Kick It Up, it's not necessarily being the best, it's being my best. And that's what I am today. But I will probably go home, take some medicine, and I will think about this movie and its ranking for a few more days. But right now it's going to premiere in the top 10, so we'll just go ahead with the list.
Ooh.
Number 10, we have Luck of the Irish. Xenon is out of the top 10.
Wow.
Shout out to Xenon, R.I.P. obviously.
Hurts,
Unbelievable.
but it is what it is.
Zetus Lapidus.
9, Halloween Town. 8, Scream Team.
Mm-hmm.
7, Get a Clue. 6, Phantom of the Megaplex. 5, Smart House. 4, Miracle in Lane 2. 3, Johnny Tsunami. 2, Cadet Kelly. 1, Motocrossed. And I would like to say I think Scream Team would be higher on my list if the name of the team in the movie was Scream Team.
It hurts it, but
it loses a couple points by calling themselves so many times Soul Patrol.
yeah.
But the name of the movie is Scream Team.
It was an easy fix.
So I did look it up. I tried to find if there was
Do you
something
think
in
it was
the
just
editing.
too scary and they wanted it to be the good guys to be the Soul Patrol?
I don't know. I do know that this movie was intended to be a backdoor pilot for a TV show that never got off the ground. I don't know what they would have done there. Would it still be Scream Team with the Soul Patrol? But
Fascinating. I think I did something similar in my rankings that you did, but I'm going to wait for my turn. Bran,
Okay.
Where do you have this?
I also have it at number 10, but I'm also going to say it's probably not going to end up staying there. It could bounce around a little bit. It kicked out Double Teamed, which hurt me to my core.
Good God.
But it is number 10. And apparently 10, 9, and 8, all Halloween movies. Number 9, Phantom of the Megaplex. 8, Mom's Got a Date. 7, Luck of the Irish. 6, Smart House. 5, Cadet Kelly. 4, Get a Clue. 3, Motocross. 2, Johnny Tsunami. And number 1, this one's for you, Doctor, the greatest movie of all time, Brain.
You got your list is a riot, Bran.
Thank
Here's
you.
what I'm starting to realize, and this is fun for me, but I can only imagine the burden that you two feel because there are like legit DCOM classics that are just not in the list anymore.
Yep.
Like on the outs of my list, Smart House, Luck of the Irish, 'Twas the Night, Quince. Those movies aren't on my top 10 anymore. And all of those movies are like, you got Kimberly J. Brown, you got Smart House, Luck of the Irish, 'Twas the Night. These are big time movies, and they're not even in the top 10 anymore. So Scream Team is definitely in my list. And what I did was I went, was that better than Halloween Town? Yes, it was. So then I went to my list, I found Halloween Town, I put it in the spot closer to the top from Halloween Town, and then I compared it to all the other movies and said, it's better than Halloween Town. Is it better than any of the rest of these? And I could not, with a good conscience, say it was. So it ended up right by Halloween Town. My top 10. Now at number 10, Brink.
This is scary.
Brink at number 10. 9, Miracle in Lane 2.
In order for things to work out good for me, no other movie in the next 100 movies or whatever it is going to end up in your top 10. So
I mean, I will say,
crossing my fingers.
The last few weeks, I've been debating Brink and Miracle in Lane 2 quite a bit. So it could still pop
There's
up.
still hope.
8, Halloween Town. 7, Scream Team. 6, Get a Clue. 5, Cadet Kelly. 4, Phantom of the Megaplex. 3, Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire. 2, Johnny Tsunami. Number 1, DCOM. By far, still Motocross.
Motocross.
No question about it.
I was sent a video. Riley. Last name is I'm sorry, guys. The guy from Motocross.
I was sent a video, Riley.
I know. Riley, whatever his last name is, who plays Dean on Motocross, he was on Will and Sabrina's podcast.
Our rival.
And he was talking about how like it is still one of the most recognizable roles he's ever had. He still has the costume, and he was like,
Can he
Will
put
was
it
like,
on
you
for
should.
us?
He tried to put the helmet on, and Will was like, you should wear that for Halloween. And I guess like soon after filming Motocross, he was in a movie with Eric Von Detten, and he was like, we would walk down the street, and it would cause like a mob, like people didn't know what to do with themselves. And I thought that was funny. And
Dude, it's
When
the guy
people-
from Motocross with a friend of his.
When people talk about the good old days, that's what they're talking
Brink.
about. Where Riley, what's his name, and Eric Von Detten were.
What is? Sorry,
Video
guys.
Riley.
The video of Riley. I don't know his last name.
That's right.
I'm going to go home and go to bed. I'm going to take some medicine and go to bed and be back better than ever next week for
DCOM.
You Wish, which
You
I'm
Wish.
pretty excited about. You
Yeah.
Wish, friend from Even Stevens, and then
Liz
Miranda.
McGuire. Yeah.
And then
Spencer Breslin?
yeah, I was going
Is
to
it
say Beans,
Spencer?
Aaron Garen again. But I always
think it's
I think it is
Spencer-
Spencer
I think it's
Breslin. Yeah,
Spencer Breslin.
excited about that one. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We'll be back next time with another one. Until then, keep
DCOM
DCOMing
all the
up.
time. DCOM Descendants is a Bramble Jam podcast. Produced by Brandon Gray.
That is me.
And it's recorded in, that Greenville,
It's
South
Greenville.
Carolina. For more information on DCOM Descendants, go to @DCOMDescendants on Instagram.
Visit our website
Go to DCOMPodcast.com.
or the social.
Leave us a rating and review.
Please, for the love of God.
And to watch us watch these movies live, go to BrambleJamPlus.com.
Do it now.
Wish you would.
Happy Halloween!